It's Will Harlow here, sciatica specialist physiotherapist from the UK who's behind Overcome Sciatica. And today we're going to talk about which sciatica exercises you need to avoid to make sure you get better faster. Let's dive into it. Now, the number one sciatica exercises you need to avoid are something called hamstring stretches when they're done on the painful side. Let me explain. Now, a hamstring stretch is a type of stretching exercise that stretches the muscles at the back of the thigh. The reason why we need to avoid hamstring stretches when we have sciatica is the fact that the sciatic nerve and the hamstrings follow a very similar pattern when they run down the back of the leg. This means that when you stretch your hamstrings, you're also stretching the sciatic nerve. Now, there's one thing that has become very clear about sciatica, and that is that the sciatic nerve hates to be stretched. And if you have sciatica and you stretch the sciatic nerve, it's going to make your symptoms worse. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that hamstring stretches themselves are bad. It's a very important exercise for a lot of people, and you see a lot of athletes doing it. However, when you have sciatica, the leg that you have the problem in, you should always avoid stretching the hamstrings. It's okay to stretch the hamstrings on the other leg, and that might actually give you some benefit. We'll talk about that more in another video. However, stretching the hamstrings on the painful side could be one of the worst things you could do for your problem. Let me demonstrate some of the exercises I see people doing that do aggravate sciatica, and then we'll talk about why they're a problem and why you should stop them. Here's a really common stretch that I see people with sciatica doing that only makes their symptoms worse. So in this example, here's the painful leg, okay? And I see people stretching the painful leg out and trying to reach forward, grab their foot to release some of the tension here. Now, the reason this causes so many problems is that the sciatic nerve runs from your toes all the way through your ankle, down the back of your leg, all the way up into your back. Now, it's attached to the spinal cord in your back. So in effect, the structure actually runs all the way up the back and right into your head where the brain is. So it's one long cord. This part is the sciatic nerve, this part is the spinal cord, okay? If you stretch your leg out, that's going to put tension on the nerve itself. And then if you bend forward, you're putting tension on the spinal cord too, which only increases the tension here. What makes it even worse is when people pull their toes up, all right? That's probably the most stretched position I can possibly put my sciatic nerve in. Yes, I can feel a stretch in the hamstrings, which is good, but to be honest, if I had sciatica, I'd be getting a really aggressive stretch on the sciatic nerve long before I feel it in the hamstrings. So if you have sciatica and you're doing this movement, it's likely that the stretch you're getting is probably pain from the nerve rather than a stretch from the muscles. So stop this exercise straight away. I'm also going to demonstrate another exercise that involves stretching the hamstrings that I see a lot of people with sciatica doing. I'm going to demonstrate it now. Make sure you stop it if you're currently doing it as part of your program. So I hope now you can see that stretching the hamstrings is also a way of stretching the sciatic nerve, and we don't want to stretch the nerve because it just makes the problem worse. If you're currently doing those exercises, stop them straight away and find some new ones. A great alternative would be the exercise program that I recommend in the Total Recovery Program for sciatica. If you scroll down and click the link that corresponds with the Total Recovery Program, you'll be able to read all about it and see if it suits your needs or not. I'm currently answering people's questions to do with sciatica, so if you'd like to ask a question, either leave it in the comments or send me an email and I'll do my best at answering it. Can't wait to see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel or leave me a comment, and see you in the next one.